Hi guys, Vino here and welcome to this Vino Plonk production and welcome back to my Revisited series. If you don't know what my Revisited series is, it's when I take a look at some collections that I've shown off before, maybe on video, but bought some time ago, between 6 months to a year ago, obviously sometimes longer, and then sort of look at those collections and see where they sit in my current collection, how much of it I've watched, how much I haven't. And it's a really good way for both you and me, for that matter, to go back through my collection. So today we have a double whammy. Today we have the Criterion collection of Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman, and the Akira Kurosawa Samurai collection from BFI Films or BFI Media. I'm not quite sure, from BFI. So before we get into the main meat and potatoes of this video, I've been doing this Revisited series for a few months now. There's only a few entries in it here and there. The first entry, I think, was the House of Hitchcock collection, and I've also done my Twilight Zone collection. But I actually went back and watched the original video I uploaded of this last September the 7th actually, which is about the time I got it. In fact, may have been the very day I got it. And I'll talk about the day I got it, because the day I got it was actually a really nice day, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But that particular video, the audio isn't great, if I'm being completely honest, and my setup has gone through many different changes. I had a Rode Lavalier SmartLav Plus for a number of years. That unfortunately bit the dust, and then last year I took the plunge and got a Rode Wireless Go system that's been doing really well for me. There's not much tinkering I need to do post-production to get it sounding pretty damn awesome. So hopefully one nice added benefit from doing this Revisited series is redoing a lot of these videos that may not have come out the best the first time around. So to talk about the story behind this, so we actually I got a bonus from work because of COVID reasons. We got a bit of a bonus from work, and with that bonus I was looking what to do with it. I really wanted the Arrow Video Gamera collection that come out, but unfortunately it went out of print literally 2 days before I was due to get paid, so couldn't get that. Unfortunately now it goes for £200-300 on eBay, so that's not going to happen for a while, I don't think, unless I get some kind of windfall in terms of money. But hey ho, you never know. And I've just realised I've had this the wrong way around for you guys. I do apologise. So after some long umming and ahhing, I found out about the set. I knew about the set for a while, and Amazon and other places were recommending me the set. I did some investigation, and Amazon at the time wanted £160 for this particular set, but I wanted to get a couple of bits for my bonus, for my money. So I found this on eBay for £100, and it also picked up Ghosts of Tsushima off of PSN store, which is a fantastic game, and I've actually done some videos on that as well. So for my bonus I went a bit samurai with a lot of the stuff. But the reason why it's such a good day is because I bought for this, paid for it, and the seller actually dropped it off to my house, actually, because they lived in the same city that I lived in, and I did the whole week was really good. I was actually off for 2 weeks, and it was the first of 2 weeks that I was off, so I could spend the next week or so getting into this set. So on that note, you've been staring at the outside cover for the last 4 minutes. So you've got this kind of Japanese in styled motif running all the way through, this sort of comic kind of look to it, abstract art look to it. But yeah, it kind of flows through the entire set like so. But there you go. And many of these, obviously these scenes are scenes from the actual films themselves. So if you don't know what Zatoichi is, or Zatoichi the Blind Swordsman, it's supposedly Japan's longest running film franchise. I think Godzilla might have it beat nowadays, but hey, at the time it was Japan's longest running film franchise, and it stars an actor who I've completely blanked on the actor's name. which is a little embarrassing, and I just realised I've gone to the back of the book. So let's go to the front of the book this time, and I'm sure we'll be able to find out the name of the actor who plays Zatoichi. So it's a 26 film series. There's actually 27 films in the series because there was a remake done much later on. Shintaro Katsu, that's his name. So this is actually a picture of Shintaro Katsu, and he plays Zatoichi in all but one of the films. The only film he doesn't play it is, of course, the 2003, I think it was, remake that was done, and unfortunately by then he'd passed away, so he didn't do that film. I have heard that film was actually really good and is both stars and directed by the same person, so at some point I will check that out. But now that we're here, we can look through the lovely booklet that comes with this collection. So, as with any Criterion Collection release, we get a lovely booklet with some absolutely beautiful art in here, and I've actually noticed something which is actually quite interesting. The first two films in the Zatoichi series are black and white, and then they go to colour from the third film onwards, and you can see that's actually represented here, with the first two pictures are in black and white for the first two films, and we go to the third one and it sort of fades from colour, from black and white to colour, which is actually quite reminiscent of what they do. You just continue on through these lovely images. I'm not going to go through the whole entire book, but you can see these images are rather lovely, and of course they represent something, a scene from the film of some description. Absolutely wonderful book. The other thing this book does, if you're a film fan, is if we look at the back, it goes through do apologise, it goes through, there you go, the transfer. So it actually goes through how they accomplished the transfer and the nitty-gritty details and all that kind of stuff, which is just, if you're a film fan, it's a treasure trove of trivia and caveats and things like that, and little nitty-grits of how they've gone about this collection. So the collection itself is, there we go, that's the right way around. And then each disc has its own page, and then there's 3 movies per disc. As I'm sure you can quickly work out, these aren't completely Blu-ray quality. So I'm not sure the exact background on the transfers or how they were stored, the original film negatives were stored, but of course these aren't up to Blu-ray quality. There is another version of the set around where one of the movies per page is a Blu-ray and the other 2 are DVDs. There are a lot more discs and it sort of folds out. I've heard by a lot of people not to get that set because it actually contains errors, whereas this set, the reason why they released this set is they corrected a lot of errors, and plus they put all 3 movies per Blu-ray onto a Blu-ray. So there we go. So now there we have the first 3, the next 3, and each page and disc are colour coded, which I think is wonderful. And I believe there are 9 discs in this particular set. There we go. And then we get to the last film, the 25th film of this particular collection, and of course you get supplements. There is a 26th film starring Shintaro Katsu as Zatoichi that was released in 1986, my brain wants to say. Probably incorrect, but hey. That was released far after the original run of films. He also went on to do a series with the same character for a number of series and years and what have you. And of course you can buy that separately. So the Zatoichi character is one of Japan's most beloved characters. And there you go, that's the set. In terms of what I've done with the set, very little. In fact, In fact, there is potentially a marathon style videos coming up at some point. Many of you have heard me mention razor wire reviews over the last little while. I've been really getting into Luke's videos over the course of the last few months, and I've also been slowly but surely making my way through his mammoth marathon 6.5 hour long, is it 6.5 hour long video where he does like a vlog for each entry in the Zatoichi series and just bunched it all together and exported it and uploaded it as one big chunky video that you can of course watch. I want to do a similar thing at some point, just sit down and just make my way through these films one day after the next, or a couple in a day, however I do it. I really want to do that at some point and make my way through these films. I've seen a majority of the first film just to check out, the first 3 films, just to check out bitrate and stuff like that, and from what I see, I can see myself really enjoying this series. It's just that I haven't done much with this set at this precise moment in time. It's been sat to one side, kind of collecting dust, which is unfortunate, especially for a Criterion release, but that will be rectified very soon. And there we go, you can see on the end there that nice picture there that's completed by the book and the set itself. So next up we have this, and why do I include this? Well, obviously the connection being a samurai based thing, but I actually wanted to buy this the same time that I got this, but obviously wanted to be mindful of money. I just spent £150 between that and Ghost of Tsushima, so I didn't want to go too mad, and I'm glad I waited, because I bought this in December of that year. I bought the Zatoichi set in September, and a couple months later, I think it was a couple months later, maybe just a month later, it doesn't matter, but later on I bought this set. I'm glad I waited, because this went from £50 down to £25. HMV slashed the price in half because it wasn't selling, from what I could tell, which is a crying shame. The reason why I don't think this sold very well is there are many different versions of this. There's a Criterion version of this called the Samurai Collection. There are many versions of the Samurai Collection that contain the same films, and it's really confusing which one to go for. The reason why I don't think this sold very well is because so many people have the Criterion version of this set, so they didn't dip for this one. However, this is a lovely little set by BFI, which is basically the British version of Criterion. Essentially, it's a premium label, and they do premium releases. As you can tell, there's the contents, and now we're going to take out this particular. So this front part is matte and really nice, and they've got a glossy inside, which is a nice contrast. There's an image from one of the films in the set. There we go. So you open it up, you get a lovely booklet, which of course many of you will recognise from Criterion collections. So a lovely booklet that goes into the background of many of these films and what have you. And again, it's just wonderful. Slip that back in there. And then you get the films on 4 different discs. One of the discs does share 2 of the films, which is Yojimbo and I forget the name of the sequel of Yojimbo. Sanjuro, there we go. And you do get I thought you got a special features disc, maybe not. Maybe that's me misremembering what you get in this particular set. Okay, must be. There are special features on this set, just there's not a dedicated disc to them. So, in this set, you get 7 Samurai, Throne of Blood, The Hidden Fortress, and Yojimbo and Sanjuro, which is a nice smattering of Akira Kurosawa's films, probably some of his most famous films, and a good sort of taster of what to bring. Again, much like the Zatoichi set, I haven't done much with this set. And one of the reasons why is this set to me is very daunting. Akira Kurosawa's films are not short films. I think Seven Samurai is like 2.5, 3 hours long. So I need to sometimes just bite the bullet and watch some of these fantastic films. I've heard a lot about them and I will at some point be checking them out. But yes, hopefully you enjoyed this third, fourth entry into my revisited series. And please keep an eye on my channel for potential reviews coming up very soon of some of these films. Until next time guys, please take care. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.